Have you ever wondered how a perfect being, created by God Himself, could turn against the very Creator who gave him life? It's a question that challenges everything we think we know about heaven, perfection, and even the nature of God. In a world where we often ask, "Where is God in my suffering?" it's only natural to extend that question back to the beginning. Where was God during Lucifer's rebellion? Was He caught off guard? Did He simply stand by as chaos erupted in His perfect creation? Or was there something deeper, something more profound at play? These are the kinds of questions that dig deep into our faith, shaking the very foundations of what we believe about God's sovereignty and love. But what if the answers to these questions hold the key to understanding not just the rebellion in heaven, but the very struggles we face in our own lives? What if, in the midst of that celestial war, God was doing something that we often overlook in our own battles, a powerful act of divine strategy that would set the stage for the ultimate triumph of good over evil? You might be surprised by the answer, and it might just change the way you see your own challenges. Because, just as God had a plan during Lucifer's rebellion, He has a plan in your life too, a plan that is unfolding even when it seems like everything is falling apart. So, stay with me as we unravel this mysterious and often misunderstood part of biblical history. The insights you gain might just transform how you navigate your own struggles, knowing that God's hand is always at work, even when we can't see it. In the beginning, Lucifer was the embodiment of perfection. God, in His infinite wisdom, created a glorious cherub whose beauty and splendor stood out among all the angels. However, this celestial being allowed pride to seep into his heart. It's intriguing to consider how the pursuit of power can corrupt even the purest of beings. Rather than being content to serve God, Lucifer desired to be God, challenging the divine order. This reminds us of countless biblical stories that warn of the dangers of pride and how it can lead even the most virtuous astray. This rebellion wasn't just a mistake. It was a turning point in celestial history. Imagine a creature so close to perfection, allowing ambition to lead him to ruin. Lucifer's fall serves as a powerful reminder that even those gifted with great abilities must remain humble. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing we're invincible when we're at the peak, but the Bible teaches that true strength lies in recognizing our dependence on God. This lesson applies to our lives today, urging us to stay grounded no matter what we achieve. Reflecting on this event, we can see parallels in the modern world. How often do we see leaders or prominent figures fall because they let pride dictate their actions? It makes us think about the importance of staying humble and focused on what truly matters. Biblical stories show us that those who choose the path of humility find favor in God's eyes. So, if we find ourselves in positions of power or influence, we should act with wisdom and moderation, remembering that all power ultimately comes from God. Instead of craving God's throne, we should focus on being good stewards of what has been entrusted to us. Lucifer had it all but lost everything by forgetting this fundamental truth. Similarly, we're called to be grateful for what we have and to use our gifts to glorify God, not ourselves. Over and over again in the Bible, we see that God exalts the humble and brings down the proud, proving that true greatness lies in serving, not in being served. This event marks the beginning of a conflict that transcends time and space. Lucifer's fall wasn't just the fall of an angel. It was the start of a cosmic battle between good and evil that continues to this day. God, in His infinite wisdom, allowed these events to unfold, perhaps to teach us the importance of free will and the necessity of choosing what is good. This choice, as old as the universe itself, still challenges us daily, and that's what the next point will explore. Lucifer's pride didn't just lead to his own downfall. It sparked a cosmic rebellion that shook the very foundations of heaven. Picture this: a celestial being, once revered and admired, now leading a revolt against the Creator Himself. It's a scenario that defies logic and yet unfolded in the very presence of God. This rebellion wasn't just about Lucifer. He managed to sway a third of the angels to join him in his quest for power. It's a stark reminder that influence, when misused, can lead even the strongest to fall. This battle wasn't just a skirmish. It was an all-out war in the heavens, a clash between those loyal to God and those who had chosen to follow Lucifer's path of pride and rebellion. To the forefront of this cosmic battle was the archangel Michael, leading the heavenly host against the forces of darkness. Imagine the intensity of such a confrontation. Angels who had once been brothers, now standing on opposite sides of a war that would define the future of creation. Michael, with his unwavering loyalty and strength, became the embodiment of God's justice and power, a symbol of what it means to stand firm in faith and righteousness. This battle, though unseen by human eyes, was no less real, and its impact resonates through the stories of the Bible, reminding us that the battle between good and evil is ongoing. The rebellion in heaven was more than just a physical battle. It was a battle of wills, a struggle between pride and humility, between self-worship and devotion to God. This cosmic conflict mirrors the battles we face in our own lives. How often are we tempted to follow the path of pride, to put ourselves above others, and even above God? The story of Lucifer's rebellion serves as a cautionary tale, warning us of the dangers of letting pride take root in our hearts. It challenges us to examine our own lives and to root out any seeds of rebellion before they can take hold. But even in the midst of rebellion, God's sovereignty remained unchallenged. He allowed these events to unfold, not because he was powerless to stop them, but to demonstrate the power of free will and the importance of choosing righteousness. The cosmic rebellion was a test, not just for the angels, but for all of creation. It shows us that, no matter the strength of the opposition, God's will ultimately prevails. This is a powerful lesson for us today, reminding us that no matter what challenges we face, if we remain steadfast in our faith, God's power will guide us through. The story of the cosmic rebellion doesn't end with Lucifer's fall. It continues in the ongoing struggle between good and evil, a battle that is still being waged today. As we move forward, we'll explore how this struggle plays out in our world and what it means for us as we navigate our own lives, constantly faced with a choice between following God's path or being led astray by pride. Even as the cosmic rebellion raged, God's sovereignty remained unshaken. He wasn't surprised or caught off guard by Lucifer's uprising. Rather, he allowed it to unfold, showcasing the profound importance of free will. In the grand tapestry of creation, every thread is woven with purpose, and even the rebellion served a divine purpose. It's fascinating to think that God, in his infinite wisdom, permitted such a revolt not because he was powerless, but because he intended to teach a crucial lesson about the nature of choice and the possibility of redemption. This perspective invites us to consider how the challenges and trials we face might also serve a higher purpose in the grand design of our lives. God's role in allowing the rebellion also emphasizes the value he places on free will. He didn't create beings to be mere puppets, controlled without autonomy. Instead, he endowed angels and humans alike with the ability to choose, knowing that genuine love and obedience must come from the heart, not compulsion. This choice, however, carries weighty consequences, as seen in Lucifer's fall. The lesson here is clear. With great power comes great responsibility. We are reminded through these biblical stories that every decision we make echoes in eternity, shaping not just our destinies, but also the fabric of the universe itself, through the lens of theology. We also see that God's allowance of this rebellion was a profound act of justice and mercy. By permitting the events to unfold, he provided a stage for grace and redemption to shine. Lucifer's fall opened the door for God's justice to be revealed, but it also paved the way for his mercy to be extended to all of creation. This duality is at the heart of many biblical narratives, where justice and mercy are not opposites but complementary forces working together to fulfill God's ultimate plan. It challenges us to consider how we might embody both in our own lives, balancing righteousness with compassion in our daily actions. The rebellion also serves as a backdrop to the broader narrative of God's relationship with humanity. Even as the angels made their choices, God's focus was on the eventual redemption of his creation. He knew that the rebellion would lead to a greater revelation of his love and power, especially through the stories of the Bible that have been passed down through generations. This is a powerful reminder that, even in the midst of chaos, God is at work, orchestrating events in ways that we may not always understand but can trust are ultimately for our good. As we consider God's role in these events, it's clear that his actions were not reactive but proactive. He wasn't responding to the rebellion with surprise or anger. Instead, he had already woven it into his divine plan. This insight gives us confidence as we navigate our own struggles, knowing that nothing happens outside of God's sovereign will. The story of the rebellion, and God's role within it, prepares us to explore the ongoing struggle between good and evil that continues to this day, a struggle that we are all a part of. Lucifer's fall wasn't just an isolated event in the distant past. It marked the beginning of an ongoing struggle between good and evil that continues to this very day. This struggle isn't just a celestial battle fought in the heavens. It's a conflict that plays out in the hearts and minds of every person on earth. Every decision we make, every action we take, is a part of this larger spiritual warfare. The Bible is filled with stories that highlight this continuous battle, reminding us that we are not mere spectators, but active participants in a cosmic narrative that spans eternity. This ongoing struggle serves as a test of our faith and devotion. Just as Lucifer was tested and ultimately failed, we too are faced with challenges that test our loyalty to God. These trials come in many forms: temptations, hardships, and even moments of doubt. But unlike Lucifer, we have the benefit of learning from the stories of the Bible and the mistakes of those who came before us. These stories teach us that while the battle is fierce, victory is possible through unwavering faith and reliance on God's strength. It's in these moments of struggle that our true character is revealed, and our faith is either strengthened or weakened. One of the most profound lessons from this ongoing battle is the importance of humility. Lucifer's downfall began with pride, a desire to elevate himself above God. This same pride is often the root of our own struggles. The Bible teaches us that pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. By recognizing the dangers of pride and choosing humility instead, we align ourselves with God's will and protect ourselves from the pitfalls that led to Lucifer's demise. This is a lesson that can be applied to our daily lives, whether in our personal relationships, our careers, or our spiritual walk. The ongoing struggle also reminds us of the importance of perseverance. The battle between good and evil is not a short skirmish, but a long, drawn-out war that requires endurance. The stories of the Bible are filled with examples of individuals who persevered through trials, often against overwhelming odds, because of their faith in God. This perseverance is what ultimately leads to victory. In our own lives, we are called to persevere, even when the odds seem insurmountable, trusting that God is with us every step of the way. As we continue to navigate this struggle, it's important to remember that we are not alone. God is with us, guiding us, and giving us the strength to resist temptation and overcome the challenges we face. The stories of the Bible remind us that no matter how fierce the battle may be, God has already won the ultimate victory. This knowledge should give us confidence and hope as we face the daily struggles of life, knowing that we are part of a much larger story that ends in triumph for those who remain faithful. And this brings us to the lessons we can learn from this cosmic rebellion, which will be explored in the next topic. The story of Lucifer's rebellion offers profound lessons that are as relevant today as they were when the events first unfolded. One of the most important lessons is the danger of pride. Lucifer's desire to exalt himself above God led to his downfall, showing us that pride is not just a character flaw. It's a destructive force that can lead to our ruin if left unchecked. The Bible repeatedly warns against pride, emphasizing the importance of humility. In our own lives, we must be vigilant against the subtle ways pride can creep in, whether through our accomplishments, our possessions, or even our spirituality. Staying humble keeps us grounded and aligned with God's will, protecting us from the same fate that befell Lucifer. Another lesson is the value of faith and trust in God's providence. Lucifer's rebellion was ultimately a rejection of God's authority, a refusal to trust in His plan. This is a temptation we all face, especially when we encounter difficult situations that challenge our understanding. The Bible teaches us that even when we don't understand God's plan, We can trust that it is good and that He is working all things for our benefit. This trust requires us to let go of our need for control and to surrender to God's will, knowing that He sees the bigger picture that we cannot. By doing so, we avoid the pitfalls of rebellion and find peace in God's perfect plan. The story also highlights the importance of choice and free will. God did not force Lucifer to remain obedient, just as He does not force us to follow Him. Instead, He gives us the freedom to choose, knowing that true love and devotion cannot be coerced. This freedom, however, comes with responsibility. Our choices have consequences, both for ourselves and for those around us. The stories of the Bible illustrate the ripple effect of our decisions, showing how one act of rebellion can have far-reaching impacts. This lesson reminds us to choose wisely, considering not just our desires but the broader implications of our actions. In addition to these lessons, the rebellion underscores the significance of perseverance. The battle between good and evil is ongoing, and it requires us to remain steadfast in our faith, even in the face of adversity. The Bible is full of examples of individuals who faced tremendous challenges but remained faithful to God, and through their perseverance, they overcame. This is a reminder that we too must endure, knowing that the struggles we face are not in vain, but are part of a larger plan that ultimately leads to victory for those who remain faithful. Perseverance is not just about enduring hardships. It's about maintaining our commitment to God through every trial and tribulation. Finally, the story teaches us about the power of redemption. Despite Lucifer's fall, the Bible offers hope that redemption is always possible for those who turn back to God. This is a powerful message for us today, as we all have moments of failure and weakness. The Bible teaches that no matter how far we may stray, God's grace is sufficient to bring us back. This lesson encourages us to never lose hope, to always seek God's forgiveness, and to trust that His love is greater than our mistakes. As we reflect on these lessons, we can better understand how to live lives that honor God, resist the pull of pride, and remain faithful in the ongoing struggle between good and evil. As we've journeyed through the incredible story of Lucifer's rebellion, I hope you found answers, not just to the mysteries of the heavens, but to the struggles in your own life. But let me ask you, has this message touched your heart? Has it stirred something deep within you that makes you want to know more, to live differently, to align your life with the truths we've uncovered today? If so, now is the time to take action. Don't let this moment pass without making a decision that could change your life forever. If this message has resonated with you, I invite you to accept Jesus into your life. He has a plan and a purpose for you, far greater than you can imagine. His love is boundless, and He's waiting for you to take that first step towards Him. If you're ready, why not take a moment right now to pray, to open your heart, and to invite Him into your life? And if this video has enriched your understanding, please don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any more teachings about the incredible and life-changing stories of the Bible. And if you want to dive even deeper, I have a special recommendation for you. Click on the card on the screen to watch the video, Why God Cannot Kill Satan or Fallen Angels. It's a fascinating and revealing story that will further deepen your understanding of the mysteries of God's Word. Remember, you are loved beyond measure by a God who has plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. May God bless you immensely. Until the next video.